Hi, everyone. We finally got on the internet. Hi, everyone. I'm not sure if I'm repeating myself. Welcome. This is Diana Ricken, and I'm learning how to do this Facebook Live, so bear with me. This is our 51st week of the 2019. 51 weeks already. Can you believe it? It's December 15th to the 21st. Uh, We're going to talk this week about should we be vegetarians? How can we help the animals? And Philip has some information for us. We are live. If you do care to say something, I think the chat is on. I live in a rural area and our internet is very slow. And so I try to get on here and it doesn't always let me on. If I upload, which I was doing, some of you are having trouble hearing. Uh, it seemed like you had to turn the volume way up, and that didn't happen to everybody, so I'm not sure. Hi, Carol. So glad to see you. Thank you. Glad you're here. Welcome. So anyway, we are live, and I will get better at this and try to even tell you when I'm going to be live. And I will take these off. I think they're probably glaring, but then I'm going to have trouble seeing you. So I'm going to ask your forgiveness for the glare and leave my glasses on. We are going to talk to Philip today. Um, Christy, welcome. Thank you. It's about time. Hello. Well, thank you. I'm here. Yes. Um, I didn't grow up at my age. We didn't grow up with the internet or with any of these electronics. So I take all the help I can get. Thank you for the laughter, Christy. I need it. Thank you. All right. I want to tell you a story. And by the way, winter solstice is coming up this Saturday. And winter solstice, by the way, comes from the word, it's a Latin word that means to stand still. Um, and that's in the northern hemisphere that we're going into winter solstice, that we're going into winter time. And so, what I want to say is that time to stand still. As we go into winter in the northern hemisphere, it is time to go inward, time to let go of those old issues and patterns that actually hold us back so we can manifest that which is going to be so beautiful in our lives. When I lived in California and still with my clients in Florida or California or Arizona, wherever the sunny states are, I tell them it's harder for them because for those of us in the states where we have winter, it's automatic. We want to stay in. We want to go inward. We seem to have more time to do that in the winter. So happy winter solstice, and do use this time to look inward at those patterns that are holding you back from your greatness. So do keep sending me, if you would like to, the questions. I'm looking at my notes here. If you wonder what I'm looking down at, thank you for sending the questions, those that you have. I do ask that you keep them general, so our whole audience. I'm not at this point taking private questions. And something happens, my YouTube screen, the chat cuts off over here, even though my computer screen, it's like it has rows of black because I can't get the YouTube screen to out or to not go all the way out to the end. I'm not making sense, am I? Your words are cutting off is what's happening, and it's not on the computer screen, it's just on the YouTube screen. So I'm not sure how to fix that. I have to work about that. But like Christy's last, it says, what kind of quest? And I'm guessing it's saying what kind of question. Questions like we've had for the last several weeks of, for example, today's is, how can we help the animals? Should we become vegetarians? We will get our message from Philip. Welcome everybody, by the way. And Christy says, yes, that was her question. So let the questions be general. We had a question about what is karma? How does that work? The personal questions, the ones about can you help me with my life? Please call me. The number's below. You can contact me also through my website, and we'll get you set up for a private appointment and answer those questions. But for the general, is like, should we be vegetarians to help the animals? And we're going to answer that one. Anyway, this is an Oracle book. Each page has a different response on it, and we'll get to that in a little bit. If you're looking for a good Christmas gift, this is available on Amazon.com, along with all four of I still have 4 books in print. A couple of books are out of print, but still have 4, including Joy, which is 52 ways, one exercise a week that you should do to help your life become happier. And it also helps us look at how to keep calm in these times. These are really, really tough times that we're in. For those of you who are interested, welcome. Chris, I was asking for me an example of question. And then I see the LOL. So if you see me looking over here, I'm talking directly into the computer monitor, but I have this great big monitor over here. So I'm going over here to look at the questions. It's just easier than looking straight ahead because it's bigger. Anyway, I do have my 3-day workshop coming up. It'll be held in Waynesville, Ohio, a beautiful little historic town. And it's called Awakening to Your Deeper Intuition. We have a lot of fun, but it's also very, very intense. And this workshop is to help you develop your intuition, also really refine it and deepen it, because the people who come are already intuitive. So if you want to know more, just go to the website or give me a call and I'll send you a brochure. But the brochure is actually on the website, so you can pick it up. Okay, let's get right to what Philip said okay, thank you. I've got to tell you another story first, don't I? Years ago, back in the 1990s, which doesn't seem that far away from me, and yet it seems eons away. So back in the 1990s, I attended Jean Houston's mystery school for a few years. And while there, I met a beautiful young man by the name of Peter, who became a soul brother, who was a soul brother. He didn't become one, he was one. And every year for Christmas at the December gathering, because it was a weekend and we would meet up in New York, Jean would have her chef come and cook us a brunch. And it was absolutely delicious because it was made with love. And Jean herself was a wonderful, I don't know if she would call herself a chef, so I'll say a wonderful cook. Anyway, at the time I was a vegetarian. And Peter said to me, my soul sister, you do not honor your ancestors if you do not eat what they ate. And so you should eat the meat. Well, another friend said to me, she too was a vegetarian. And she said that during this weekend that the person that cooked in Jean's home for her family, in addition to Jean's cook or helper, I'm not sure how to word that. This friend of mine, the vegetarian, said that she ate the meat that weekend because it was prepared with such love. So I want to tell you these stories because that is where we start with Philip's answer. So remember, my soul brother Philip told me to honor my ancestors, I should eat meat. And the other friend said, as long as it is prepared with love, she could eat meat. And she was a vegetarian. Peter was not. So here's Philip's response when I ask him, how do we care for the animals and should we be vegetarians? And Philip says, the story you think of is a good illustration for your life, meaning my life. Because of your ancestry steeped in the ancient peoples of the land. This, however, is not true for all. Your soul brother Peter, who told you it honors your ancestors to eat as they did, also carries the DNA of ancient peoples who lived in one with the land and the animals. He honored you with his wisdom. This wisdom is not for everyone, but only wisdom for those who are connected to the ancestors. All others must align themselves with the animals and learn of their choice. This means that a human is to ask the animal if they are willing to sacrifice their body to feed the human's body. Welcome, Amelia. Thank you so much for coming. And I'm so excited to have all of you commenting. I promise that as I get better with this live, I will start announcing when I'll try to give you some heads up as to when I'm going to video. And I know it changes every week, and I'll try to stop doing that as well. It's just because of my schedule. I never know quite my schedule. So, and thank you for the love and the heart, Amelia. Thank you. Okay, so Philip goes on to say that my soul brother, Peter, he honored you with his wisdom. This wisdom is not for everyone, but only wisdom for those who are connected to the ancestors. All others must align themselves with the animals and learn of their choice. This means that a human is to ask the animal if they are willing to sacrifice their body to feed the human's body. Animals are more in tune with the energy of their species, so the human need not ask the specific animal, but instead ask one of the same species. Welcome, Jacqueline. So glad to have you with us today. And so, Vernon, thank you. Vernon, that is not a question I would even bother reading, let alone answer in public. I'm sorry, it's a sexist question and not a nice one. So, Flordacious, welcome. Thank you. Joel, welcome. Thank you. Let me go on reading here while you all come on. Thank you. So we have to ask, we don't have to ask the specific animal, but we do have to ask the species. By this, we mean that if you are considering consuming a beef burger, I think he means a hamburger, but he's calling it a beef burger, it would be necessary to ask Steve if he was to ask the steer, and steer, by the way, is capitalized, to ask steer if he was willing to sacrifice his body to sustain yours. If the answer is in the negative, it would be wise to choose another meal. However, if the steer agrees, the second step for the human is to ask if the beef burger is healthy for this body. So what Philip is saying here, and welcome, thank you, CJ, Joel, thank you so much. I'm getting myself pulled away, so I'm going to stay here. What Philip is saying here is that it is like all steers are in the energy connected with each other. So if we just ask steer, we get our answer. So if the answer is in the negative, it would be wise to choose another meal. However, if the steer agrees, the second step for the human is to ask if the beef burger is healthy for this body. If the answer is positive, the beef burger must be prayed over. A simple prayer of thanks to the steer and to thank the human body for its acceptance of the meal is suggested. Of course, additional thoughts may also be included. The meal should be eaten with awareness and gratitude. This will allow the body to accept the meat. For those humans who wish to aid the animals, begin by observing them, learn their ways, and provide aid when needed. Animals have their own ways. Learn their ways and love without condemnation. As with the aid to other humans, the aid to animals in your world is much the same. Harm not. Give to help in time and money, and watch over and protect those you can. Love is action, and every prayer said in love is stronger than condemnation said in anger. And then I say, thank you, Philip. And Philip says, thank you, dear ones, with an S. So he's saying thank you to all of us. And then he adds this. We remind you the evolution taking place in your world We'll see animals and humans sharing the same peace table. This transformation is already taking place. That's pretty exciting, isn't it? That animals and humans were becoming more alike and less separated. I do want to read something else to you. It's from a book a friend gave me. It's Emmanuel's book. And I pick this up, not every night, but quite often. And when I pick it up, I always read something that I needed to read at that time. So I found this prayer I want to read to you because I think it's a very beautiful prayer. Okay. As you accept, not blindly, not uncaringly, but with ever deepening awareness, those circumstances involved in human existence, you will more and more be reflecting your own light. There will come a day when, regardless of what is transpiring in the human community, you will regard it as a blaze of light and you will be free. Is it possible that the bird would fall out of the nest as a gift to the cat? And as a gift to itself, God, in his consciousness, I dare say, would see the fall and ultimately demise of that bird as a time of joyous reunion, as light coming home. As a human who loves birds and cats, I would find it difficult to not chase the cat away from the bird. But when we think about it, this is so beautiful. It really is. And I think that this says it all. Is it possible that the bird would fall out of the nest as a gift to the cat? So I thank you for that, Emmanuel. Shall we get our message from Philip? Now think left page and right page, because as I said, each page has its own message. And as we come up on the message, if you think the same, if I get right page and you think right page, your intuition's working. If you get the opposite page, there's a good chance then that your intuition is telling you that's a message for you. So we just flip through, and I want to just take a minute and say, welcome. It looks like you're talking to each other rather than to me. And so I'm going to let you just go on and do that. And, unfortunately, there are some messages on here that are, well, what can I say? We're just going to say a prayer for you and bless you and send you love. All right, my friends, think left page or right page. You ready? I am getting right page. But of course, I'm going to tell you the left page as well. But here's our message for this week. Obstacles disappear when confronted with patience and perseverance. Obstacles disappear when confronted with patience and perseverance. And I remind you of what Philip just told us. Love is action. On the other side, on the left side, it says, when you stop another from giving to you, you also stop the flow they have chosen for their lives. When you stop another from giving to you, you also stop the flow they have chosen for their lives. You heard me say it before. When we breathe out, we give. When we breathe in, we receive. Thank you, my friends, for receiving. Thank you. Daisy's over here sound asleep on her bed here in my office. So from Daisy, from all of the kitties, the indoor ones, the outdoor ones, we thank you for being with us. I love you, and I thank you for receiving that love, and I thank you for sending us love. Until next week, we say goodbye.